A summer heat wave can be completely relentless. Humidity hangs heavy in the air, but when you walk into your aging parents' house, the windows are shut tight, the air conditioner is turned off. Your parent is sitting in their favorite chair, wearing a thick winter sweater, quietly sipping a hot cup of coffee. On the kitchen table, the water pitcher you filled yesterday sits completely untouched. And when you ask them to please drink a glass of water, they just shake their head. I'm not thirsty, honey. You're nagging me again for absolutely nothing. As an adult child, watching this play out during a hot summer afternoon is terrifying. And you know the medical dangers of heat stress. But no matter how much you beg or plead, they're simply going to refuse to drink. So if you're caught in this daily summer power struggle, you are facing a critically early warning safety crossroad. Hi, I'm Suzanne Fasella. I'm a retired physician assistant and senior care strategist. And I show exhausted family caregivers how to break out of constant crisis management and into confident leadership, protecting the senior that you love without completely losing your own life in the process. So ignoring this behavior because you want to avoid a massive family fight or a disagreement is an incredibly dangerous mistake. If you accept that they say, I'm fine, and you accept it too quickly, you slide into watching them go into maybe confusion, which is called delirium, or a heat stroke, which can hit. And today I want to show you how you can stop fighting your mom or dad's dehydration and put up some guardrails. As a physician assistant, I have treated the specific summer emergency countless times in the emergency room in the clinics. Families assume their parent is just being stubborn, but the reality is far more complex and chemically driven. There's really a reason behind it. As their human body ages, its internal hydration defense mechanisms begin to naturally degrade. First, the brain's baseline thirst sensation significantly diminishes. They don't have the ability to think thirsty. Clinical research from Johns Hopkins and many medical institutions show that elder or older adults regularly experience a mismatch between their body's actual need for fluid and the brain's perception of thirst. So it's not their fault. And by the time a senior actually feels thirsty, their tissues are already sliding into acute dehydration. Secondly, aging kidneys lose their ability to conserve water efficiently, leaving very little room for error when the summer temperature spikes. So your kidneys aren't working anymore, not like they're supposed to. The parent's internal alarm, should you say, their system is completely broken. So they don't feel thirst. They don't know they're thirsty. They don't know they're supposed to drink more water. And their kidneys aren't working. Third, they're always cold. Why? Well, they're cold because of their slower metabolism. All right, a metabolism creates energy. It makes us heat up. Ask any sports person. They're sweating horribly, right? They are just burning those calories. They are heated up. They have reduced muscle mass. So what does muscle do? Muscle burns energy, and that causes heat. They don't have muscles, so they're not creating heat. They also have thinner subcutaneous fat, and that's why their skin looks so thin. So this layer of fat that they're supposed to have is to preserve the heat in their body. They don't have it anymore. And then on top of that, they have impaired blood circulation. So they're not getting the oxygen to the muscles and to the fat and to the skin that they need and to feed the metabolism. So without that, they don't have heat. All of these things are meant to either generate or preserve heat, and they don't have them. And when we're cold, think about this. Who wants to drink a glass of ice water when we're freezing to death? So before we look at the hidden warning signs, take a second to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and share it. Your quick click tells YouTube to push this out to other families who are drowning in caregiving panic right now, trying to figure this all out. Because your parent will not tell you when they need water, you have to look past their verbal arguments and look at 5 easily overlooked warning signs. So sign number 1, sudden behavioral shifts or increased confusion. Acute dehydration restricts blood flow to the brain, mimicking dementia or even a stroke. Very real. Happens. Sign number 2. And I'll tell you something else. When you see something like this, you think the parent's tired and they need to go to bed. What they need is a glass of water. Okay, sign number 2. Unexplained muscle weakness. Dehydration depletes electrolytes like sodium and potassium, causing the blood pressure to drop, and massive spike in home fall risks. So we're back to falls again. Number 3, deep physical exhaustion, or they're sleeping all day because the heart has to work twice as hard to pump thick, dehydrated blood. Water thins the blood. Water increases volume. Would the heart rather pump sludge or water? Obviously water. So the more water we can get into our systems, the better and more efficient the heart is going to pump. Not when it has to pump sludge because we're drinking everything else but water. People say there's water in Coke or there's water in coffee. Yes, but those are diuretics. So we're peeing it out faster than we're taking it in. We need just plain water. Sign number 4, extreme dryness in the mouth or skin that stays tented when you pinch the back of their hand and you see that the skin stays up. And on top of this, if you've ever asked a nurse or a PA or nurse practitioner or a doctor to try to start an IV on a dehydrated senior, I don't know how many jabs it takes, but it's not good. Sign number 5, dark amber urine or a strong, pungent bathroom odor. That will tell you the dehydration triggers a severe chemical imbalance, and the senior can develop sudden severe swelling in the brain cells called hypernatremic delirium. That word delirium. And virtually overnight, a clear, conscious patient or parent becomes combative, confused, and entirely unresponsive. And you can have, it's life-threatening. So you can't fool with the sodium and the potassium and the water. It's got to come. And they're not capable of doing it. Families panic, thinking it is late-stage dementia when they see delirium, or they might actually think that it is something else going on. And it is a medically treatable situation. Now, on top of that, you've got to add medications because these increase the risk. So there are things like diuretics and beta blockers and antidepressants that actively block the brain's internal thermostat, making seniors completely unaware that they are overheating. So you can outfix senior dehydration by walking into their living room and repeatedly shouting, "Drink your water." And to keep your parents safe, you have to implement quiet, automated, what we call guardrails in our steady care plan. These got to happen behind the scenes. So hide the hydration in their food. That's a good guardrail. Stop forcing the water glass. Offer them watermelon, cucumbers, bowls of cool applesauce, and flavorful gelatin desserts. They prefer these textures anyway, so provide them. And they're getting their water. And swap heavy glasses out for lightweight tumblers, all right? Or even 6-ounce glasses, 1-ounce glasses. They don't have to be 8-ounce glasses. They don't have to drink 8 ounces at a time. They can drink just a couple of ounces. What we typically do is we'll give an IV of 250 mils. That's about a cup of water to a person in the hospital over several hours, and that's enough. Seniors with arthritis or hand tremors are not going to want heavy glasses or cups because they're terrified of spilling it, okay, and losing their dignity. Switch them to something lightweight, and they're certainly out there, and they can use those, and put a straw in there and secure the lid just to make it effortless. Tip number 3, establish routine visual anchors. What do I mean by that? Do not hide the water inside the refrigerator where it's completely out of sight, but place bright, attractive pictures or glasses directly on the side table next to their favorite armchair, next to their bedside, next to their bathroom, by the toilet, if the sink is near the toilet. Put it there. Just keep putting them everywhere. Put those glasses out there. Let that water warm up to room temperature for them so they can sip it. And I've got an extra tip for you. You drink more water right in front of them. People tend to mimic what they see versus what they hear. This is true with ads. You can see that they'll be saying on a prescription, they'll say side effects can cause vomiting and diarrhea. Well, you don't see the person on the TV having vomiting and diarrhea. They're not running to the bathroom. What they're doing is they're out in a park playing with a family when they're saying these sayings over the scene. Why? Because visual events are stronger to us than hearing events. So the last place a person needs to be if they have vomiting or diarrhea is out in a park. Good luck trying to find a bathroom, right? But these ads work. Why? Because we're seeing them out in the park playing instead of running toward a bathroom with vomiting and diarrhea. So you start drinking more water. Every time you sit down to have a conversation with them, you get your glass of water and you start sipping it, and you'll be shocked how your senior starts sipping their water. It's not going to happen right away, but stay with it. The more water you drink, the more water they'll drink. Okay. So I want you to try these quiet little guardrails or adjustments this week and see how it works. And then leave a comment right below this video and let me know, is your parent refusing to drink fluids? Or do they turn even on the air conditioning this summer? What tricks have you tried to get them to stay, not overheated, but drinking more water? We can strategize together. So you cannot hold your parents' physical safety together through sheer force. You know that. You don't need to be having anxiety because of it either. Trying to survive senior care is going to exhaust you, and it's going to burn you out and maybe end up in the emergency room. Love is not enough. You need a senior care plan for both your mom and your dad. You do not need a collection of quick tips. You need a comprehensive written strategy for all the things you go through. And I'll tell you that it works. So go down into the description box and click to join the caregiver community and immediately download the master guide, the 75 most common senior care problems families face every day. And yes, I've seen them all. And learn exactly how to identify early safety red flags and stop exhausting yourself and get your life back. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.